Okay. Do you condemn Hamas?
I condemn any kind of unnecessary violence, yes.
I'd say you're one person that really spoke out for Palestine. Obviously, being a few months into this whole thing, where are you sitting at right now? Obviously, the situation is still going on. It's a sad situation. But where's your headspace in this whole conflict?
More on the offensive now.
Okay.
Meaning that even if the war in Gaza stopped today, I will not stop talking, because there is much more that Israel is doing, more than just like doing what they're doing in Palestine.
Yeah.
The fact that they are meddling in American politics, the fact that they are buying politicians, the fact that they are openly, AIPAC is openly bragging about the candidates that they are financing are winning their primaries, and they're penalizing other candidates for speaking against Israel. This is very worrying.
Yeah.
The fact that a client country that we support as an American with our tax dollars are actually calling the shots for our politicians, this is crazy and unacceptable.
How about the fact that they're also able to control our speech? So basically protesting Israel, a foreign country, could potentially become a criminal act. How crazy is that? Or saying certain things just become anti-Semitic out of nowhere. So if you are against Israel, that's anti-Semitic. If you are against Zionism, that's anti-Semitic. They are actually pushing this bill forward. It's just insane to me. That is insane to me. Anyways, I found this video of Bassem Youssef on Mo Vlogs. I personally have never watched it, so I'm excited to watch it with you. And if you appreciate the summarized content where I take a long podcast and shorten it up so you don't have to go waste your time watching the whole entire thing, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. We are one of the fastest growing channels in this niche, in this subject. Please do your part and subscribe to my channel. If you really want to help support, become a member. The link is in the description below. It's only $2.99 a month. Honestly, it just shows me that I have people behind me supporting me if the channel gets demonetized. Now let's continue.
America at the end of the day is run by people, and those people are politicians. Those people need money to get their elections.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's a huge backing up for Israel, not because of the Jewish people in America. It's also because of a lot of the Christian Zionists. A lot of the support that comes for Israel doesn't come from Jewish people, Jewish billionaires, and a lot of Jewish people don't accept what Israel is doing, but it's also coming from a lot of people who are Christian evangelical, who are the Christian Zionists. I don't know if you read about this, but those are people who are praying for the end of time and praying for Armageddon.
Well, no.
That you guys don't.
I've heard
not
of
in
that
that
term.
depth, but
Okay, so you need to educate yourself about Christian Zionism. Christian Zionism is a very dangerous ideology. You should read about the rapture and the end of days, and the supposed end of days Armageddon, which basically people are pushing for the second coming of Christ, for the evangelical Christ, or the coming of the real Messiah.
so they want
Jews.
like the world to end.
Exactly, and which is crazy. It's crazy that the whole idea about the Judeo-Christian values, there's nothing called Judeo-Christian values. This is something very new. This was not part of the founding.
You know, this is something I've mentioned in another video as well. You hear this term used a lot recently. Judeo-Christian values. America was founded on Judeo-Christian values. Someone tell me, what is Judeo-Christian values? It's a totally contradicting statement. Christians think of Jesus all the way up here. They think he's God or the Son of God or whatever, right? Astaghfirullah. And then you have people of the Jewish religion that literally think of him all the way down here. Astaghfirullah. They think of him as a heretic and say stuff about Maryam alayhi salam, Mary. It's just really, really terrible. Muslims are the ones that are middle. They're like, okay, no, Jesus was not God, but he was an honorable person. He was a prophet of God, and his mother was a virgin, like Virgin Mary, right? Maryam alayhi salam. She was a very honorable woman. And so we believe we're the middle ones over here. So if the Christians are up here and the Jewish people are up here in their thoughts and views of Jesus, how do they think they have similarity in that? It's not similar at all. And so when I'm sure many of you know this, that the Christian Zionists and the Jewish Zionists, well, the Jewish Zionists think that at the end of times, you know, they're going to be the masters of everyone. They're going to have all these slaves, blah, blah, blah. And the Jewish Zionists think that they're going to become the masters and everything. So like they're both letting each other do it. And hey, let's see who wins, right? It's hilarious. And it's crazy that religious fanatics are making these policies and it's affecting the whole entire world. It's actually disturbing.
Carter's ideology for America. And it is actually something that has been promoted very recently, the last 200 years. And it is crazy that the Christian Zionists want the second coming of Jesus. And in their ideology, when Jesus comes, all the Jews will either be killed or convert to Christianity. And for the Jewish ideology, when the Messiah comes, everybody will be enslaved by the Jewish people. So it's crazy that like they both want the same thing, but with two different results.
So that's why they're supporting this movement.
Yes. You really need to read about this.
Yeah.
I think the younger generation needs to be educated about not just a lot of the geopolitical movements in the world, even in the Western world, is actually driven by religion, which is funny because they've always been told, we in the Middle East, we in the Arab world, we in the Muslims, like, your religion is problematic, your beliefs are a problem, it's very violent. But they are actually, their driving force is extreme religions beliefs that is actually very harmful for the planet.
But you see, like how you said,
You know, that's an interesting thought. As I got older, because growing up in America, I always thought, you know, we're in a secular Western world and all that. And as I've gotten older, as I've learned more about world politics, it's crazy to think how much of world politics is still run by religion. Like compared to like if you compare to hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands of years ago, I mean, there's still religion involved, and we think nowadays, you know, it has nothing to do with that, but there is still a lot of religion involved, and why things happen, especially in the Middle East, why things are happening the way they're happening. And it's not just Islam; it's Judaism, Christianity, all three.
not a lot of people are aware, like they're not knowledgeable in everything. But that's the problem with social media. They just put snippets, and kids are just consuming those little bits and pieces. They're not reading books like before. They're not going deep into history,
But
learning.
even in social media, there are very short snippets in very informative videos about what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You can have all of your timeline about like dance moves, which is fine. But also there's a lot on Twitter and on TikTok and on social media and on Reels that discuss these things.
Yeah.
Where do you think I mean I read books.
Yeah,
but it's not like I'm someone who just like in a library. I also get a lot of my information from internet, from the internet, from the social media, from YouTube, from all of these snippets.
But you have patience, and a lot of kids now, they're developing ADHD, and they're blaming
There's
it on social.
There's nothing called ADHD. This
So,
is
it's like they don't have patience to consume.
Okay, you just said there's no such thing as ADHD. I respect that, but I don't know what this girl is fighting for. Like, what the heck is she trying to say? I know this Mo vlogs, I think like sister or something. But like, what's she trying to say? That, oh, kids can't pay attention, so they shouldn't try to read and educate themselves, or even watch videos? Like, what is she even saying right now?
I have to say, just like ADHD is just an excuse.
It's just a term.
It's an excuse
Yeah.
for a shitty behavior. It's an excuse for someone who's irresponsible,
Yeah.
an excuse for someone who doesn't want to have the responsibility of
Yeah.
actually putting their mind to work. ADHD, there are criteria for diagnosing of ADHD. And there are certain criteria that needs to be fulfilled in order to say that I have ADHD, and then basically you have to qualify for having the medication for the ADHD. But not everybody who cannot focus is ADHD.
Oh yeah, you got to keep in mind, Bassem Youssef is actually a doctor. I think he's a surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay, this is very important to set, even from a
Yeah.
medical point of view.
Yeah.
Are you religious yourself?
I mean, I'm a Muslim. I'm religious. But I have a joke about that. I said when people ask me, "Are you religious?" I said like, "Well, if this is God's chosen people, I have my doubts."
Situation. Is boycotting something that you do or do you preach for?
I don't preach for anything. I myself do not use many of these things even before the boycott.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, like McDonald's or Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks is a sorry excuse for coffee, and McDonald's is shitty sandwiches. I don't even consume them.
Yeah.
Even before that, not because of boycott or anything, because these are really shitty products, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why there's so much hype. And many of the stuff that's on the list, I don't use it because they're not healthy as much. So but if I have a choice, I don't really go, and I cannot really say that I live in America. I pay taxes to the American government that actually supports Israel, so I cannot be hypocritical about it.
Yeah.
What I say, if you want to boycott. If you don't. But this is actually gets us to something else. You just mentioned about two people getting into a fight because of boycotting.
Yeah.
This thing about trying to upstage people, trying to have like some sort of a moral superiority on other people by doing stuff or not doing stuff. Like, for example, why don't you speak about Gaza? Why don't you speak about Palestine? I speak about Palestine, but I don't have to shame you for not speaking.
Yeah.
If I boycott, I don't have to shame everybody else for not boycotting. You do it for you. You do it because you believe in it. But a lot of people do certain things, say certain things as a way in order to feel better and more superior about others, and they just like one up you. this kind of like the comparison mentality that people come in, that's not useful for anybody. I'd rather talk about the stuff that is very obvious to you, what Israel is doing to the Palestinians, the injustice. Not just look what Israel does in Gaza. Look what Israel is, not even what Israel does in the West Bank. What Israel does to the Arab that with Israeli passport inside Israel. And the fact that like Israel has always been lying to the world, saying like we are a secular democratic state, while they are an apartheid, racist, and oppressive state, this lie has been gone on for so long, and people are like just letting it go by. This is something that is real and it is tangible, and you can talk about it.
Yeah.
But the eyes are opening up now. Like this has been going on in Israel for a very long time on the Palestinians. And now though, in the last few years, I mean, I'd hate to say it, but like the October 7th attack, it did cause a lot of eyes to open because people saw on their Instagram feeds and on their X feeds, like all these children and women getting killed so disgustingly. And so eyes did open. And so I think we are making progress. We're going in the right direction. And inshallah, in the next few years, I mean, judging by the generation on TikTok, dude, Israel is not going to have the same power on our politicians in 10 years as much as they do today.
You do not need to waste your time and energy to peddle into conspiracy theory that doesn't take you anywhere.
Now, I've seen a lot of comments, obviously, they say, are you racist? To you.
Me?
Yeah.
Not context.
And like specifically towards Israel, because obviously like...
No. You're anti-Semitic. I've been accused of all kinds of things. I'm a secret Muslim Brotherhood. I'm a secret Jew. I'm a secret Mossad agent. I'm a secret CIA agent. I'm a mukhabarat operative by the army. I have been called all kinds of names. And to add anti-Semitic to the accusation, I'm a Freemason. You know, to add anti-Semitic to this whole thing, and a satanic worshipper, even Satan himself. I'm Satan. So to add this, doesn't really faze me anymore. It doesn't make. Also, this accusation of anti-Semitism has become so empty. It's an empty accusation. It doesn't. It used to freeze the blood in your veins a few years ago, but it doesn't anymore because it's been overused.
Yeah.
They're calling everybody anti-Semite. They call even Jews who stand against Israel anti-Semite. What they want to say, you're anti-Israel, but anti-Semite and the whole. First of all, like you have Jonathan Glazer, the Jewish director the Jewish Israeli director who just won an Oscar for a movie about the Holocaust. And he went in and he said, like, I refute my Jewishness. I refuse. I don't want my religion to be hijacked by and the Holocaust to be hijacked by the identity like Israel that has actually been using that to kill people. It was an amazing speech, and he was called an anti-Semite. Stephen Hessel was a Jew. He was French Jew. He was part of the French resistance in the Second World War II. And he was in Auschwitz. He was put in a concentration camp. And he survived. And he went out to co-author the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations. See, you cannot get more Jewish than this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
2 years ago, he supported the Palestinian cause and he supported BDS. And he was called an anti-Semite. So this has been this empty accusation doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
And the whole idea anti-Semite. I'm an Arab. I'm a Semite myself. People don't understand that. Semites is an ethnic identity that actually means that could be an Arab, you could be a Jew. They're the three Semites, which is Arabs, Jews, and Aramaic. That's basically it.
Obviously, I just want to clear there. Obviously. Because obviously you talk about the whole Israel-Palestine thing so much, you're not against Israeli people at all. Like only like kind of the government to say, right, what they're doing.
No, I guess that Israel as a country and what they do and the people who support that, which seems that like a lot of Israelis unfortunately support that what the government is doing. Maybe there's a minority who doesn't support that, which I applaud. But like even if I say I'm against Israel, so what? A lot of people say I'm against America. A lot of people say I'm against the UK. A lot of people say I'm against Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE. So what? So what? Why is this an outlandish, crazy accusation? Why should be people afraid to be labeled anti-something? I'm anti-Trump and anti-the Biden. I can say whatever I want about the American president and I cannot speak about Israel. This is crazy. I think if there is anti-Semitism in the world, I think Israel is the source of it. Because they have made so much damage to people, and they made people hate Israel, and because of them, they are associating themselves with Judaism. So a lot of people don't make this distinction. I have enough intelligence and I have enough experience to distinguish, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And I think Israel is the cause of anti-Semitism in the world.
That's a great point. That's very similar to how ISIS was for Muslims. ISIS was causing a lot of Islamophobia in America and stuff. Now, another thing I'll say is that he's right about how why is he able to be anti-Trump, anti-Biden, but not anti-Israel? It makes absolutely no sense. And the fact, again, that there's a bill out there that is trying to push the fact that being anti-Israel is anti-Semitic is insane to me. Totally insane. I wouldn't be surprised if it passes. That's the sad part. But yeah, the media in Israel is more critical of Israel than America is of Israel. How crazy is that?
In your opinion, is Israel a country?
It is. I mean, listen, it is a country. Like the whole idea was like, oh, it's not a country. We can
No offense. What kind of question was that? Come on, Mo Vlogs.
just like discuss about that, but like officially, it is a country in the UN.
Okay.
And the thing is, being a country in the UN puts a lot of responsibility on it. And this is why every time they want to compare Hamas with Israel, it's like, don't compare, because Israel is a country while Hamas isn't. You see, that's a big thing.
Because they can get
Israel is a signatory of the Universal Human Rights, of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Israel is the signatory of the Geneva Convention. It signed all of the war laws. So that is why you can hold Israel accountable, and you cannot compare it to Hamas.
What do you think is the solution right now? Obviously, it's too late. But what do you think?
Well, first of all, you have to stop the killing. And second of all, if you want peace, peace does not mean the cessation of fight. Peace does not mean the cessation of violence. That is just like cessation of violence. Peace means it has to be just. And there's a lot of problems like the illegal settlements in the West Bank. There's land seizure, the seizing of land, the seizing of houses, the killing of people, putting people under an occupied for an occupation for 75 years, the longest occupation in modern history, by the way. And to do that, you have to continue doing that. There's no peace. There's a problem with the land. There's a problem with Palestinian refugees. There's a huge problem that you need to fix before you talk about peace.
But how do you fix that? I feel like, this is my opinion about just the world in general, I feel like the governments make problems. I don't think any person is born hateful. They're born into a situation. For example, let's say they're born into Palestine, which is now seeing Israel bombing them, and now they hate them. So I don't think the people are the problem. I think it's the situations. And vice versa. I think people are born into Israel with what's going on, and then they have their parents kind of preaching them something. And then so I feel just that hate is the reason, but it's not based on the specific people, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, but I mean, we're not discussing about the social.
But how do you
about
fix
the solution.
that? Because right now, okay, let's say as much as we think...
You don't fix that overnight. Yeah, this has been...
But, okay,
this hate has been breeding for decades, and there's a reason for that kind of...
But as much as, let's say, we think Israel is in the wrong right now. Okay, yes, they've come and taken the land, the houses. Let's say, miraculously, they say, okay, you know what, we're wrong. Where do they go? Where do they go now?
What do you mean? Talk about Israelis?
Yeah.
Again, this is like a much bigger... First of all, I never said like we should erase Israel. I never said that, right? And second of all, there's even like the people who talk about the people who know much better than me, much more qualified. There's either the two-state solution where they have two separate things, where they have this land and that land, or they have a one-state solution where everybody lives happily with the same equal rights. All right? It seems that there's a lot of obstacles for both of them, and I think it's being complicated every day, and it's not becoming attainable. But again, I mean, this is me as a human being. This is me. But again,
Neither of those solutions will work under the current administration in Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu said under his watch there will be no Palestinian state. He's been very clear about that. Now, they will also never do one state where everyone gets the same rights, because guess what? Israel is not a democracy. It's actually a Jewish supremacy. So if everyone gets the same amount of rights, and now all of a sudden you have way more Palestinians than Jewish people, guess who gets power and votes and everything? It's the Palestinians, not the Jewish people. Guess whose policies win? It's the Palestinians, not the Jewish people. Jewish people can't allow that, and that's why they'll never give all of the Palestinians equal rights. They'll only keep a limited amount. You know, they say, oh, there's like a few million Palestinians in Israel. Yeah, why do you think it's a few million? Why aren't they letting everyone else in? There's a reason for it.
Didn't make it get to that bad. So I only have these kind of theoretical theories, but it's not really up to me.
Yeah, now I actually have a few things. Obviously, you're someone that I respect for one reason. No, one reason. Sounds so wrong, but I respect a lot
For one reason, and that's it.
No. Here's
For
one
one
thing.
reason, and I'm done.
No.
I respect you for one reason, but I disrespect you
the
for all
main
kinds of
reasons.
99
This
reasons.
is one thing I
I have
really
one
like.
reason to respect you and 100 not to.
No, this is one thing I love about you. I feel like when the whole conflict started, you saw every single social media person post about it. 90% of them are not anymore because I guess the hype died. And I think that's a huge problem in itself because I saw one of my friends posted, Iman Ghazi, on his point. He was like, a lot of people posting now are not going to care about this in 3 months. So actually just don't post about it if you're not going to care about the situation. But I feel like you're true to your word, you know? Don't you think that's an issue? People just post about these things like they're trends.
Well, listen, when I posted at the beginning, a lot of people said, oh, you're doing it for clouds and clicks, you're just doing this and doing that trend. And a lot of people who are now who told me this, they're not posting anymore. But here's the thing. I don't post to get praise. I don't post to tell people I'm posting. I never once went out on my shows like, where are the people who told me, where are you now? I don't. Because my motivation to posting did not change. I did not post to, again, upstage other people. I do not post to feel myself better than other people. And a lot of people's like, your friend this and this not posting. It's like, it's up to him. I don't care. Here's the problem. Why do I need to look at other people's actions? I have a lot to worry about my own self. I worry about I have so much on my plate already. I don't have time to look at what other people are doing. Why are you not posting now? Why are you not posting now?
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care. You see?
Yeah.
This is a non-issue. Because again, this is the mentality of the comparative idea of the social media. I'm doing this. Why are not you doing this?
Yeah.
You said that before, but you're not doing it again, and I'm keeping posting. What about you? I don't care. This is very childish, man.
Yeah.
This is very childish.
Now, what would you say to the people that said you spoke about it for fame?
I don't care.
Don't care.
You out of all people, you know that being exposed, exposure comes with a certain tax, which is people are going to be dicks to you. They're going to be horrible to you, right?
Do you experience real life hate? Like, have you ever had,
Never.
like,
in real life, 99.9999999% interaction with people, it is wonderful. I maybe have like 1 or 2, maximum 3 incidents where I have like, like unfortunate or like uncomfortable encounters with people, but thousands of encounters are amazing.
Yeah.
Internet and comment section is not real.
Exactly.
And a lot of those people who hate you in the comment, if they see you face to face, they're going to take a selfie with you.
They're your fans when they see